Hello everyone. My name is Sachin Rao, and this is this video is about GSM. Let's start. So, GSM introduction. GSM is uh, GSM is commonly known as the Global System for Mobile Communication. GSM is a standard developed by the European Telecommunication Standard Institute, which is called ETSI, to describe the protocols for second generation 2G digital cellular network used by mobile devices such as mobile phones and tablets. It is called also 2G. Now we are using 4G or 3G. So it was first developed in Finland in December 1991. By the mid 2010, it became a global standard for mobile communication, achieving over 90% market share and operating in over 193 countries and territories. So 2G networks developed as a replacement for first generation 1G analog cellular networks. The GSM standard originally described a digital circuit switch network optimized for full duplex voice telephony. This expanded over time to include data communication, first by circuit switch transport, then by packet data transport via general packet radio service, which is called GPRS, and enhanced data rates for GSM evolution EDGE. Subsequently, the 3GB developed third generation 3G UMITS standard, followed by fourth generation 4G LT advanced standard, which do not form part of the ETSI GSM standard. Now we see technical details, which is it is a round figure of GSM network, like mobile station. This is called mobile station. We include SIM card, and this sends data. This sends signal from the base transmitter station, and then there is a BSC, base station controller. Then after base system controller, it came from here, uh, which is GPRS packet switches. Then there are many GMS, as you can see, CS, MW, MGW, MSC server. Then it sends VLR core network. So it is a figure of GSM. Now we came GSM utilize a cellular network, meaning that cell phones connect to it by searching for cells in the immediate vicinity. There are five different cell size in a GSM network: macro, micro, pico, femto, or umbrella cells. Now you can see this small figure: GSM cell site antennas in the Dutch Museum, Munich, Germany, and India. This is a small, like, you can fit in towers. So let's see how it works. The coverage area of each cell varies accordingly to the implementation environment. Micro cell can be regarded as cell where the base station antenna is installed on a mast or a building above average rooftop level. Macro cell are cells whose antenna height is underdeveloped rooftop level. They are typically developed in urban areas. Picocells are small cells whose coverage diameter is a few dozen meters. They are mainly used indoor. Femtocell are cells designed for use in residential or small business environment, and connect to a telecom communication service provider network via a broadband internet providers, or network via a broadband internet connection. Umbrella cells are used to cover shaded regions of smaller cell and to fill in gaps in coverage between those cells. Now, cell horizontal radius varies depending on antenna height, antenna gain, and propagation condition, from a couple of hundred meters to several tens of kilometers. The longest distance the GSM specification support in practical use in 35 kilometers. There are also saved 10 of kilometer, uh, the longest distance the GSM specification support in practical use in 35 kilometer. There are also several implementation of the concept of an extended cell where the cell radius could be double or even more depending on the antenna system, the type of the terrain and the timing. Advanced GSM support indoor coverage achievable by using an indoor picocell base station or an indoor repeater with distributed indoor antennas feed through power splitters to deliver the radio signal from an antenna outdoors to the separate indoor distributed antenna system. Picocells are typically deployed when significant cell capacity is needed indoors, as in shopping centers or airports. However, this is not a prerequisite, um, since indoor coverage is also provided by in building penetration of radio signal from any nearby cell. Now we come about GSM carrier frequency. So GSM network operate in a number of different carrier frequency range separated into GSM frequency range for 2G and emits frequency band for 3G, with most 2G GSM network operating in the 900 MHz or 1800 MHz bands, where these bands were already allocated. The 850 MHz and 1900 MHz bands were used instead. In rare case, the 400 and 450 MHz frequency bands are assigned in some countries because they were previously used for first generation system. Now we can voice codes. GSM has used a variety of voice codes to squeeze 3.1 kHz audio into between 7 and 13 kilobyte per second. Originally, two codecs named after the types of data channel they were allocated were used, called half rate 6.5 kilobit per second and full rate. This use a system based on linear predictive coding in addition to being efficient with bitrate. These codes also made it easier, allowing the air in interface layer to prioritize and better product these parts of the signal. GSM was further enhanced in 1997. Subscribe identity model, which is called SIM, and it is the main part of GSM. uh, One of the key feature of GSM is the subscribe identity module, which is SIM, commonly known as SIM card. The SIM is a detachable smart card containing the user subscription information and phone book. This allows the user to retain his or her information after switching handset, while retaining the handset simply by changing the SIM. So now you can see the small diagram of a nano SIM used in mobile phone.